even though the name is People's Democratic Party. But when you look at activities around the party, you will see and agree that this is the People's Development Party. How can you be interested in development without being strategic? The two, I think, has to go pari passu. What do I mean? Recently, the party viewed the whole activity of governance and felt there is need for us to wake up from the slumber because Nigeria is going down every day. Look around us and look at the problem the nation has. We are only being proactive by ensuring that we put all the necessary ingredients in place to ensuring that Nigerians see us as the only alternative to the present government of President Muhammadu Buhari. Going forward, we felt in achieving this, we need to put some certain things in place, which basically revolves around membership drive, gaining the support of the members, getting to know our members very well, and having the data of our members for various party activities. This is one of the reasons the party has felt it very necessary to go the e-way. Part of why we have gone the electronic way is to be in concert, to be on the same page with our youths who today have proven that they are people you can rely on because of their level of knowledge, because of their exposure, because of their versatility, because of their energy. It is clearly very, very important for any party desirous of winning election all over the world to ensure they work effectively with the youth. Electronic information technology has become a cornerstone for development across the world today. That is why our great party have decided we cannot left behind. One of the reasons we are pursuing the e-registration way.
So you talk about getting to know the members, and when you started, let me start from where you started. Like, People's Democratic Party has been a national party right from the beginning, and shouldn't you be just updating your list rather than going the way of a kind of fresh registration? Because this seems to be a new thing in the years of the Labour.
Okay, thank you. We ordinarily would have said we just want to update the data of our existing members. But we don't want to limit it because, as we all can see, in the last 1 year or so, I know the number of youths, the young people, that voted for APC during the last election and are desirous. They can't even wait for another 4 years. They are itching to vote them out, and have seen us as the only alternative because of our strategic positioning across the nation. PDP is the only party that you can say has the strength across the 774 local governments in Nigeria, across the 16 local governments in Kwara State, across the 193 wards, also in Kwara State. That is part of the reasons. We are not limiting it only to our existing members, but we are trying to create room for those that are interested. And it is so interesting, it appears those that are interested in joining the party are even more than the existing number of people in the party as we speak. So it is just reasonable we position ourselves for that challenge. It is going to be very challenging. It appears burdensome, but we strongly believe we equally as a party should position ourselves for any possible litigation in 2023. part of why we have decided to go the electronic way. It will interest you to note that the ruling party in Nigeria today have basically rigged elections. We have the facts to this. We may not have been able to prove it before now, but going the e-way will enable us to prove this, and time will tell. I don't want to unfold too many things yet.
Sir, I understand that you don't want to unfold too many things yet, but I want us to look at this. Not quite long ago, in the National Assembly, we heard about the electoral amendment bill that was all around this issue of electronic transmission. And when now you are ready, preparing yourself for electronic vote, even PDP seems to be proactive in this electronic voting, electronic transmission.
Yeah.
But people from the other side seems not to be ready, because from the election, from the votings we had in the National Assembly, it seems everybody would vote in party lines except two senators and I think 3 House of Representatives. So now, what are you doing to make this come into fruition? So all this e-thing will become a thing of national contestation.
Thank you. I think a lot of activities around us is unfolding. Look at the local government elections that was recently conducted in Kaduna State. It was basically done through electronic voting. It was basically done through electronic voting. I stand to be challenged. And at the end of the day, it wasn't so contentious. Everybody saw it. The result was announced right from the voting unit, from the polling units. And because it was electronic, people knew the result even before they were announced. So it was able to abate the already boiling situation in Kaduna State. It abated it. That is one of the reasons the people in the APC, the government of APC, being presided over by a retired general, Muhammadu Buhari, who was first a military president, who was military head of state, and he has been in position, he has been in government for several years. We want to believe, if anybody should love this country, he should be the man. But we are in doubt today, we don't know where he stands. Because as a president of a ruling party, we would expect, even if he doesn't know, he will hold a session with his party men and have necessary information as to the essence of electronic voting in a volatile nation like ours today. Nigeria is already boiling. We are at the edge. We must not do anything that will further aggravate the situation as a nation. But it appears to me, APC as a government have decided, because Nigerians are no longer with them, they want to entrench themselves in governance, whether Nigerians like it or not. So it remains to be seen if Nigerians will fold their arms and allow these shenanigans to continue. It's a matter of time.
Alright, when we talk about the matter of time, you talk about litigations in your in your opening statements. In 2019, your party actually relied on litigations, and when you go to court, you talked about server, and then you hear when INEC said we have no server today, and tomorrow they say we have server, and all this crazy, all this rumbling around. At the end of the day, your party lost. So now, even if you're trying, putting things in place, we need to look at the position of e-voting, e-transmission in the face of the law. So what are you doing to make sure that this is entrenched and everybody knows that it is time to go e?
Thank you. You see, I said something before we started this discussion. I said every politics is local. And politics is a game of number. If APC has the majority of the number of the National Assembly members, and PDP being a very democratic party, we can only hear our view. We are not particularly interested in entrenching or forcing our view on the majority of Nigerians who are basically represented by the members in the National Assembly to a great extent. In my own view, the power to use electronic voting is largely resided as we speak today in INEC. And after the shenanigans in the National Assembly, if you are following political development in Nigeria, you must have heard INEC chairman saying whatever decision National Assembly eventually arrives is not binding on them. Because Constitution of Nigeria, the amended Constitution, clearly gives INEC the power to determine the mode of the election they want to conduct. And in this regard, INEC has decided to go the electronic way because government has expended a lot in ensuring and positioning INEC for that responsibility. And INEC is ready to go the e-way. So we are waiting and watching the unfolding events, and I strongly believe justice shall prevail at the end of the day.
Thank you very much, sir. In 2010, just last year, I was a co-member.
2020, you mean?
2020, rather. Pardon me, I was a co-member in Ondo State, and I was part of the team that presided over the gubernatorial election. I saw everything look like a sinker. The electronic things, I could see it was very easy, everything was straightforward. The moment you can operate your phone by yourself, you can operate the electronic thing. But Governor Akeredolu is a lawyer. He's contender from the PDP. I've forgotten his name.
Jegede.
Jegede. He's also a lawyer. He's a senator too. But of all the litigations that was brought to the judiciary, nothing was mentioned about e-voting, e-transmission. But as a team of that election, I knew that we did it. So now, if this thing comes, and even though it was a narrow escape from who won the case and who even lost the case, and I come with this, if two lawyers have to take themselves to court and we don't have anything in that, when do we start going to court?
Well, I think some certain amendments has to be made to that law, and the last National Assembly, headed by our leader, distinguished Senator Bukola Saraki, actually passed a bill in this regard. And I could remember it was forwarded to the President of Nigeria, General Buhari, for his amendment, for his signature. But as I speak to you, since 2019 till date, the bill is still on the table of the President. I think that speaks a lot of what we are doing as a nation. You see, we are a nation, I see, that are unnecessarily peaceful. We want peace. We want justice. But we are so docile. We are waiting on that justice to just fall on our laps. We don't work for it. We don't go out for it. We need to go the extra mile. Young people of today that are versatile, that are energetic, if they can devote half of the energy they devoted to end SARS into our political development, I strongly believe we would record a lot of successes. It is difficult for old men to say they should go and fight. There is a limit to how they can go. It is only the young people that are resourceful, that are energetic, that are dogged, And I have always known something. The youths, the moment they have a conviction in something, they are ready to go the extra mile. They will do everything humanly possible. So we are only waiting on the youth. We are doing the little we can to ensuring we walk the talk and positioning ourselves, especially as a party, as the alternative party for the nation today. So going forward, I strongly feel we are doing and will continue to do within our ability at ensuring we do the needful. E-solution is the only way going forward, as we can see all over the world. That's just the only way.
As a politician, you know that we have three arms of government. We have the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. And the judiciary is, I would say, the widest, because you have the official judiciary member and you have the unofficial judiciary members, which are the lawyers, the works, but they are still a part of the judiciary. Let me bring you back the memory lane. In 2013-2014, when we were preparing for the 2015 election, a certain lawyer, Festus Keyamo, was part of the people that was crying for, who has a loud voice for electoral reform. And President Jonathan Gracious did it, and he signed it, even though it was 6 months to the election. But in 2019, we head up to the 2019 election, when another electoral reform was done, the bill was part of to the president. He was on the other side, then he was on the opposition, and then in 2019, he was already in power. And he threatened that if the PDP feels that they have the numbers, they can override the president with a two-third majority, and if the president does not accept. So now, some people will be concerned that this is politics. When he was in the opposition, he seems to be talking from...
What do you refer to?
Festus Keyamo.
Okay.
He seems to be talking from the side of what is right. And then when he got to power, he seems to be talking from the side of interest, that this is what we want to do, and we are imposing it on everybody. If the National Assembly feel they have the number, they can do that. So many people will be like, everyone, politics is a game of interest. Is it a case of PDP wanting what's best for them because they know they'll get it now, and then when we fight for a reform, when you two get power, we will have it eat the rock?
No. From our disposition, from the time immemorial, we have always believed in whatever we believe in wholesomely. We do not believe in something and when it gets to being at a disadvantaged position, we now try to turn the table. No. I am assuring you, PDP will not change anything because it doesn't pay them at any point in time. I said People's Democratic Party, which I have on my own changed to People's Development Party, are desirous, are positioned to make sure things becomes normal again. For instance, look at President Jonathan. He was there for 6 years. Was it not these people, the opposition then, the APC, that were saying he did not do anything right? He could not rule the nation. He has ruled Nigeria wrongly. Now today, what are they doing? They are all walking around the man. Some of their governors visited Jonathan, begging him to come to APC. How do you beg someone you have accused of being a failure to come and join you? It then means you people are equally failures. You don't know what you are doing. The point I'm trying to make out of this is that PDP is not a party for any single president, for any individual to sit and now take a decision. Look at the challenges we're having as a party very recently. Look at the democratic way it has been handled. It has not affected our chances by any way, because we have structures and we allow structures to do what they are meant to do. The party chairman was taken to court. Immediately, the structure allowed the party organ to take the necessary steps they are supposed to take. The next man on the wings came in. He came on board. and the chairman stepped aside. Further to that, all activities that was penciled down has been going on smoothly. Part of our plan this Saturday is to conduct state congresses across the nation without any contestation anywhere. No, take it or leave it. PDP is the party to beat anytime, any day, because it's a very organized party. It's a party with strong-minded individuals. It's a party that believes in the power of the majority. It's a party that has picked the best of the fruits available in the nation and has left the rotten ones for other parties to fight over. So this is the party to beat, and this we shall prove in a matter of years to come.
All right, now let's talk about this E thing.
Okay.
I want to talk about people from the rural area. What's your plan for that? Because one of the arguments of the people in the National Assembly were that there are some of my people that do not have access to internet network or anything E. So how do we go about that? Maybe we should just take time to train them before we put that into the constitution and enforce it on them. So what is your plan for it? For example, in Kwara State, I think the 3 senatorial districts as if they do decide this just one that could be regarded as a rural area. So what's your plan for that?
Thank you. You see, when I mentioned about the robustness of our solution, it may appear or sound like trying to blow our trumpet out of place, but it is not so. We have taken our time to build a robust solution that ensures every member, regardless of where you are in Nigeria, you are able to register. As a matter of fact, Nigeria and beyond, if you live abroad and you're sure you want to be a member of our party, you can still get registered, because we have two ways this can happen. There are 2 distinct ways. We have self-registration and we have field registration. By self-registration, you can just use the web portal of the party. When you visit at iampdp.com, iampdp.com, you can easily have access and register. Through that, you can do self-registration. The alternative way of getting registered is field registration, which is what we are trying to do in Kwara as we speak. That is what I'm chairing over, and that is what I have a structure over. What is my structure? My structure are the two people nominated from each ward. Each ward was requested to nominate two people that we're going to know as ward registration agents across the 193 wards in Kwara State. We are mindful of the fact that in some locations there may be temporary internet problem. What we have done is you can get people registered offline, save it on your phone, save it on your device. It could be phone, it could be laptop. And when you move some distance, there is no part in this country, there is no part in Kwara that you will need to travel for more than 2 hours without internet network. It's not possible. The worst place we have is Kwara North, maybe Barutin, for instance. But the whole of Barutin, you can't use 3 hours to travel the whole length and breadth of Barutin. So the point I'm trying to make is, even if you register some people, for instance in Guanara, and maybe for any reason there is no network there, all you need to do is to move some distance, maybe for 1 hour. All the registration you have done, that you have properly saved, when you move for 1 hour, you see the network. You just press send. It will deliver. So the solution is so friendly. Now, talking about the nation, e-voting. You see, National Assembly members they are only showing the quality of members they have in APC in terms of their trustworthiness, in terms of their level of education, in terms of their level of analyzing issues. I am disappointed. Those are the quality of people Nigerians have voted for to represent them. Because when they want to do something wrong, they are saying in some locations, you don't have network. Come off it. That is far from the truth. Even if there are temporary network issues, like I have just explained, it doesn't take you more than 1 hour. When you move, you will see network, and you just press send. You understand? INEC has further come out to buttress on my point I'm making here, that they are ready for this solution. They have built their machines to take care of things like this. We use this voting machine. What did they call it? Remind me of the name of the voting machine.
The PVC.
The PVC machine. It worked everywhere. It worked everywhere in 2019. So why would some people come up today in the name of being a senator or House of Reps member, honorable, and they are dishonoring themselves before Nigerians? It's a shame. It's a shame.
All right. Now let's. I think the program is usually politics, and I want to digress a bit and talk about politics. Let's domicile ourselves in the Kwara State. This is our state. Your party lost the election in 2019.
Yes.
From what you said, a lot of people that voted the other way have been coming and are ready to vote your way this time around. So how would you rate the level of development? And if you allow me to chip in, one way or through legal means, one of the members was able to be a House member in the state, and now I think for some months he has stopped being a member after indefinite suspension by the House member. He actually has to struggle to be a member at the first place, and now he has been suspended. So how does your party feel about this?
Well, as a peace-loving party, as People's Development Party, that People Democratic Party is known for, we are following it with keen interest. I'm aware the honorable in question is in court. That is the only thing we can do. Because they are lawless people. How can you deny a particular people the right to have a choice of who their House of Assembly member will be? Why would you deny them? It is not even denying that particular individual, but you are denying the constituency he has come to represent. Who does that? It's against the spirit of democracy. It is against the spirit of democracy. Most undemocratic. In an ideal society, the speaker will be impeached. It is sad, it is unfortunate, it is most regrettable. But we are doing, like I said, all within law to ensure we reclaim back that right. And we equally ask for damages. Because the gentleman in question, you have denied his people the right to be represented. You have denied his people developmental projects. You have denied his people the right to ensure that they have issues that is active to their development, but they don't have anybody to call on because the assembly has unjustifiably asked the man to stay away from there against the interest of the Constitution of Nigeria.
All right, now you were in power for a very long time.
Yes.
And you believe you did well, and people, one way or the other, voted you out in 2019. So would you say that you've learned one or two things, and when you come back, these are the new things you have learned, and new things you need to do, meant to impute in your ideology?
Thank you. You see, the new People's Democratic Party are developmental driven, and we have identified those basic ingredients required to bring about further development. Undoubtedly, this is the most experienced party in Nigeria. This is the party that has done it before. This is the party that have been around, that has ruled Nigeria for 16 years, with so many things to his credit. Look at it today, my brother. Look at it. Look at all the things that has been achieved since the 1999 till date. And tell me the party that has made it possible. Yes, you will say APC has only been there for 6 years. We were there for 16 years. Measure our first 6 years as a party. Compare same to APC in 6 years and tell me the results you have. I don't want to be the judge in my case. I'm passing the question back to you. So go and do the analysis. I'm sure Nigerians all over the place know what I'm talking about.
I think Nigerians should
going forward, my brother, I want us to discuss about PDP e-registration. What is the aim of the party for coming about PDP e-registration? I will quickly mention the aims to you. The major aim of coming about EPD, electronic way for our membership registration, is to create electronic register of all party members across the nation in line with the 2017 amended Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is one. Two, it is our aim to ensure members' data are secured both in transit and those that is going to be warehoused. Another reason is to creating membership identification number, which we know as MIN, M-I-N. We want to create membership identification number. Over time, this MIN will equally be competing with NIN that Nigeria has, because we are talking of a data that is foolproof, that is, that has beaten all negativity, that is enough to be recognized individual with. That is what PDP is doing. Again, part of the reasons, part of our aims is to use the MIN to track the activities of every members with regards to party activities. What do I mean by this? In recent time, people have been shouting, fighting over positions in different locations. You see, the membership electronic data will be handy to say what the party has scored in a given area. You understand? It will be so handy to say, okay, we are looking for our next governor. Is it going to be Kwara Central or Kwara North? Okay, we have the data. Every member can easily go online to check what did we score from Kwara Central, what did we score from Kwara North during the last election. It brings about easy solution and ensures peaceful resolution of conflicts. This is the aim. These I have mentioned are the aims of coming about with electronic registration of our members. Then let us talk about the registration itself. We were discussing it the other time. I said there are two ways people can get registered. Either you want to do self-registration or you want to do field registration. Yeah. Self-registrations, by self-registration, all you need to do is go to irpdp.com. It takes you into the web. And the next thing you are going to do, you will see those basic questions about yourself. You will answer the questions. Then you will take your passport photograph. You can even take a normal photograph. If your phone has this passport software, it will reduce this to the 20 KB that the web can take. You can easily reduce it to 20 KB because photograph should not be more than 20 KB. The way our portal is designed. Such individual can just get it submitted. But that has its implication. If you are doing self-registration, you cannot register anybody. You can only register yourself. That is why we have decided to pursue the field registration. With field registration, all you need to do is to get your details. When we identify the ward registration agent, such agent's detail will be forwarded to our technical committee in the national headquarters of the party. When such informations are forwarded to them, they will create a code, a distinct code that can only be accessed by the agent, and such agent can register limitless number of people only in his ward. So if I have indirectly answered one other question you asked me earlier, we have taken our time to build this solution, and the solution is so robust. It has taken everything into consideration. It has passed through every technical test that you can think of, because PDP is the party to beat. We have a mission. We have a mission. My brother, believe we have a mission.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I think it has been a very lengthy, constructive, and objective discussion, sir. Thank you very much for your time. I hope we invite you some other time. We increase our occasion. Thank you very much, our viewers. This is where we draw the curtain today. I'm Abdul Qadir Isiaq once again, and just on my TV. Do have a lovely day.